Rate cuts prove very bullish historically for crypto assets, and with the present breakout of a statistical channel, it is only curious for us to calculate the upside probabilities. Psychological formations can also be found in the immediate short term, which can lead to an upside continuation for price. Welcome back to the channel on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into BTC. Let's kill them, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at BTC here on the 12-hour chart. And what we're looking at here is the, this is the Gaussian channel, right? So this Gaussian channel has proven pretty bullish when we break out of it, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this on the 12-hour chart. And the reason why is because, as you can see here, the 12-hour candle that just started here has opened and broken outside of the channel, and that is, you can see it right here, right? 11 hours and 36 minutes to close this present 12-hour candle, right? So what I'm talking about here is that anytime there has been a breakout from this asset, right? I'm talking about from this channel, BTC, with a clean breakout, so meaning we need a 12-hour closure above the Gaussian channel, right? We need it to close above it. No exposure, no beneath, nothing. It needs to close above it. That's the criteria here. I have taken a calculation here. I have measured this, historically speaking, throughout its entire trading history on the 12-hour time frame, right? Yes, this is actually spot price. I am not using the Bitcoin CME. But it is for whatever. It is for a reason, right? We're going to use this because everything is being traded here. I want to take into consideration everything in the weekends and everything, right? So let's go ahead and now observe the probabilities here because I have calculated the statistics here for that breakout. So go ahead and take a look at this here, guys. Total iteration count is 93. 71 of which have been correctly guessed towards that upside or realized an upside, right? That gives us an average upside accuracy of about 76.34% with an average upside thrust of about 57.12% whenever that criteria meets. So almost 77% probabilities or 77% chances that we'll get a 57.12% upside when we get a 12-hour close above the Gaussian channel, right? And we just started that 12-hour candle just about 25 minutes ago here, right? So we are looking okay so far. Now, yes, usually when we get these rate cuts, it proves very bullish for crypto assets, specifically for BTC. And you know, everything under BTC will run to the upside as well, right? So, well, I mean, I'm talking about the majority of things, right? So even altcoins and everything are looking pretty good in this case. We were observing Bitcoin dominance, and it is looking okay. XRP proving to show some upside right now. Everything is looking pretty good. So yes, team, what I'm talking about here is a potential 57.12% upside probability here if we get that closure of the 12-hour bar. So let's go ahead and take a look at what those probabilities could be, because I'm talking about massive, massive, massive upside here, team, right? So we're sitting at about 62,182.49, right? It's counting right now, right? So we're looking at that present price right now, right? Let's just say, for example, that the 12-hour bar closes, and you know what? We're going to go ahead and just pretend that it closes. Let's just say that it closes at around this price here, right? Actually, we're going to use a resistance. Let's use this top side resistance here. So just under that, to use this bottom side of support here from June 21st, and we're going to use that as the closing valuation, right? Just to give us an example here. So let's go ahead and calculate the 57.12% upside from that valuation there, right? So you're looking at a 63,336. Let's go ahead and calculate 57% right here, right? So 57.12%, as you can see, could be pretty freaking ridiculous, right? Now, remember that these are statistics. They are not certainties. This is just to give you the odds of something happening within the bounds of a certain criteria, right? So 57.12 percent, right? So it's going to be roughly right around there. So we're looking at about $99,504. Now, this is calculated using bars, right? So this would be an average of about 34.93 bars, right? So bars meaning each 12-hour candle that closes is 1 bar, right? So let's just go ahead and now move this to the right and put in that 34 or 35 bars, right? Just about here. And the upside was what? 57.12, right? So I think that's just about as close as we're going to get. So yeah, 99,548. And that would put us roughly on average by October 10th, 2024, right? Really interesting times here regarding that type of upside. And as you can see, we have seen that type of parabolic upside, right? This is impulsive upside at the break of these Gaussian channels, right? As soon as we get that 12-hour close, the probabilities really jump up for upside continuation here, right? Many iterations where those thrusts have happened, right? So now I will say that historically speaking, just in case I have some statisticians out there and some people doubting that the data here, I have removed the outliers, right? We have about 3 iterations that measured above 1,000% upside, right? Specifically this one here that started on January 8th, 2013. Huge upside, right? That was a 1,841% jump. I did not include that in the analysis, right? Or this one here, the upside started what? April 12th, 2011, 3,270% pump to the upside. I also omitted that, right? So that one and this last one right here from back near the beginning of the trading here, at least from the Coinbase against against the US dollar. So that's going to be the 2,243% upside from May 5th, 2010. I did not include that in the analysis either. Okay, you guys. So just know that I am very aware over how to add this analysis or how to calculate the samples base so we can have a viable data set, right? So take a look at this. Now, I did calculate, I mean, things are going to get a little ridiculous here, right? So I did calculate the upper bounds of the first, second, and third standard deviation. I mean, I also did the lower bounds as well, right? But every single lower bound came out with a negative value, right? So negative value being unusable statistically speaking, right? So for example, the lower bound of the first standard deviation here came out to a calculation of about 55.61% of minus 55.61%. Second standard deviation lower bound came out at a negative 168.34. And then the third was a negative 281.07, right? So this is why I have them as non-available, right? Or not available because it is unusable. Now, I did calculate, right? So moving on forward here, the standard deviation on this, first of all, is 112.73%. So what does that mean? That means that whenever the signal fires, whenever we do get that 12-hour closure above the threshold of the Gaussian bands, there is a probability of deviating price, against the favorable side downward, right? And that would be a standard deviation of 112.73%. I will say that, that's a massive correction, a lot bigger than the one that we faced in 2021, which was around 60%, right? But you can already see here that even extending this to 40% correction would be $37,000, right? It doesn't really speak actual numbers that I think are even viable here, right? So the standard deviation, I would say I would probably stay away. This thing is literally saying like $1,000 Bitcoin. Really don't think it would go down to those levels here. Actually, yeah, it would be sub $1,000. We're at 97% right here, and we're already at 1,282. I'm going to stop right there, right? Because this is just not, I really doubt, I heavily doubt that can happen, right? I really don't think this could drop into the $13 zone, into $1, nothing like that. Okay, you guys, standard deviation of 0 here, right? Really interesting times. So yeah, we would have to use our discretion here to understand where the pullbacks would be. We can use major time frame closures and all that good stuff. Guys, if you want to know why it is that I know this stuff, I am a stock trading instructor. Please go ahead and get in touch with me. I want to see you in class here. I want to see you in class, okay? ArcMastersCourse at Gmail. The setups here, everything that I do, we trade it inside of the private trading community as well. So ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com. Let's go ahead and learn how to trade the financial markets, right? Even cryptocurrencies, the equities, futures, Forex, all that good stuff, right? So this is the email here. Let me make it just a little bit larger. I'll go ahead and pass you the disclaimer, the syllabus, and everything. It's for beginners. It really is for beginners. So the beginners master's course, the mentorship program will start here. It's going to be live with me. Okay, so it's going to be starting here in about a week and a half. The seats are getting taken, so I want to make sure that you are pressing here so you can get this thing started. We're going to be holding them on Saturdays and Wednesdays, right? So make sure to get in touch with me right away for that position, okay? So, calculating the 57.17%, nice. That does have that upside, right? I'm not even going to give you the upper bounds of the first, second, and third because those are ridiculous upsides, guys. We're talking about 169.85% upside. This is 57 and signaling almost 100,000, right? So we're not going to talk about those targets just yet. We're going to go ahead and talk about them a little bit later, right? So now we're going to go ahead and see these immediate short-term formations, right? So take a look at this. There is an inverse head and shoulders here on a 12-hour time frame. Using some silly formations here, we may be able to gauge some higher probability targets, right? At least using some psychology, right? It doesn't have to be the most viable information in the world. I already, put the statistics together. I usually practice systematically in that fashion, right? But it's also good to consider your psychological breakouts, right? So in this case, we're looking at a potential topside target of about 70,016, right? So 70,016 is very curious because that is very much the high of July 19th, 2024. Now, if we hover the candle right over that, it's saying that the high is 70,615. So we are literally $1 off from creating this high, right? So, if we're going to be observing resistances in that vicinity, then let's go ahead and take it. Let's go ahead and take an inverse fib, range high to range low from that from this top side of this bottom side. And I will say that it's pretty damn close here. In fact, I can even get even tighter because right here we're very close to the 3.272 at 70,767.90 of the topside target of 70,015. When you're at these highs, guys, $800, $500, like those jumps are nothing, right? It's part of the everyday traffic. Right. So now let me just go ahead and get this a little tighter. We're going to use this top side to this bottom side instead. Right. And let's see how that kind of turns out and take a look at that. Right. Very, very beautiful correlation here. And that's going to be your 3.618 at 69,863 of 70,015, completely correlated to that golden mean, right? So this is going to be your psychological formation. This is going to be your 3.618 golden mean, and also the swing high, right? So very, very interesting times here, as that could be a target to observe in the more immediate short term, right? So please understand here that let me just go ahead and pull up my algorithm here. This is actually one of the ones that I've developed. It's called data cells. Let me see where I have it. I got to put it up because I want to know the ATR on this thing, right? So let's see. There we go. Data cells is right here. And by the way, guys, I actually do sell my indicators as well. So get in touch with me, right? If you would like to have this data window, let me know. Go ahead and email me at ArcMastersCourse@gmail or ArcaBulls@gmail. ArcaBulls, right? At Gmail. I'll write it down here for you, man, just in case, right? So ArcaBulls. Just in case, right, we're gonna do it like this. So in case somebody can't really read it, right? So arcabulls@gmail.com if you would like to get your hands on some of my algorithms here. So it gives you VWAP levels, gives you all kinds of stuff, right? So in this case, team, I do think that let's see, we have a daily ATR on this of about 2,240 points on the daily ATR. That's ridiculous, guys. This is absolutely monstrous. So the top end of the let's see, what's the daily ATR top on this? So the current ATR top would be 64,000, right? So 64,000 would end up very curiously at the 2.272, between the 2 fib and the 2.272. Very nice. And that would literally be the swing resistance here, the local resistance. So I do think that price action here does have an upside continuation. If we start to kind of look at stochastic momentum versus maybe this volatility index, it looks like we are definitely expanding critically on a 12-hour time frame. Huge volatility spike upside on this stochastic momentum, still leading towards that potential. This is just opening. It actually just got this upside pivot, and we actually just got that upside spike on volatility here, guys. It is absolutely powerful here, okay, team? So I do see the 6-hour time frame making huge expansion, upside probabilities in the bullish control zone inside of the gravitational zone stochastic momentum indicator, right? 4-hour time frame as well. It's right within that gravitational zone, bullish control zone, upside on that volatility. This is expanding towards an upside, guys. This can literally be looked at, right? We're expanding like this. Think of it as a throttle or the gas pedal in your car. You hit the gas, you go faster, right? Now, which way is it going? Well, use a stochastic momentum indicator. It's telling you that it's going towards the upside here. Higher probabilities within the bullish control zone, and also higher probabilities sitting within the gravitational zone of that bullish control zone, right? It could be magnetic here, right? It could get pulled straight to the upside, looking very good for the asset, even in the immediate short term. Okay, guys, I do think that this has a high probability to reach the, I would say maybe around the six. Yeah, this could ATR top on a daily, right? Maybe 64,000 before the next daily close. Very good for BTC. Keep your eyes and ears out for the continuation of this asset here. But I will say that it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I want to make sure that you guys are aware, right? This is going to start here in about a week to a week and a half. So get the mentorship here, team. I want to see you in the front. I want to see you front and center. Stop making excuses. What better, investment other than yourself, right? So I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Give me a question, give me a holler, make sure to hit that like button, do everything, right? Thanks so much, team. We'll talk very soon. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos. That's just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Oh yeah.